Hello YouTube audience. Today is October the 3rd, 2020, and it is autumn here in Seattle, and I would like to do some work on this Douglas fir I have. It is a local species, and so it grows very well here. Earlier this year, I did some bud pinching for this tree, and we can examine the result of that. So I think I have maybe pinched too early or not aggressive enough. So you can see this is this year's growth. It's still pretty long, so it some of them are not so long, but near the top it's obviously still elongating a bit, but we do have a lot of back budding. You can see even in the trunk you have some back budding happening, and also in some branches we actually see almost like a second flush of growth on the tip where I pinch. So the pinching is somewhat useful, but I think I still need to do it better. Maybe pinch later in the year and pinch more aggressively, so that it's not going to elongate that much. But overall the pinching did well. The other thing I did earlier this year is I topped this tree from here. This tree is currently way too high for a bonsai, so it has a lot of compressing to do to ultimately make this tree a bonsai. So the first step, I top this tree. So you can see here is what I cut, and these side branches immediately respond to it and start growing upward, and they are competing for making a new top of this tree. So it is very interesting phenomena. If I had the time and patience, I could air layer this part up and make this a clump style. A clump style Douglas fir, which could be very unique. But I don't think I'm going to do it for this tree, but it is an idea. So today I think the other thing we can look at, which is interesting, is when I take the tree out of the pot, you can see all these white stuff. These white stuff, they are fungus. I think it's beneficial fungus that's in symbiosis with the tree, and so which means this tree is doing very well, very healthy, and these fungus actually would help take up a nutrient and help take up water, so it is benefiting the tree by living with its root system. So not just pine has fungus in their roots. Douglas fir also is in symbiosis with the fungus. Maybe it's called mycorrhiza. So I think today I'm going to make something that's risky the first time I'm doing it. I want to give this tree some major movement, but this tree is already relatively stiff, so it would be difficult to make big bends on the trunk. So what I'm going to try to do is to split the trunk with a trunk splitter, and then trying to bend the tree from there. That's what I'm going to do. And this is the front I selected for the tree, and it has a relatively wide base. You can see some surface root here, and either somewhere in this direction would be a front that I selected for this tree. So I'm just going to try to split the trunk with this trunk splitter, and see how it goes. So normally we can use this technique on conifers, but not so much on deciduous tree, because conifers, they conduct their nutrition mainly horizontally, so the nutrition go up and down, not so much mainly vertically they conduct their nutrition, not so much horizontally. So we can split the trunk on the middle, and then expect the tree to survive this operation. But some conifers are better, can better tolerate this operation than others. I'm not exactly sure about Douglas fir. However, I'm going to take the risk and try it. So first, there are a lot of these tiny branches. They are not really useful, so I'm going to cut these off. Because they are so low on the trunk, they can serve as a sacrificial branch. They could be useful, but they are just too low on the trunk, and I don't really need it. So I'm going to use this trunk splitter to split the trunk. So they are going to penetrate the trunk and meet in the middle. split the trunk. And I think I can get this to be bigger and focus on the trunk and see if I enlarge the image and see if I can make you see the action. Let's see, where is the trunk that breaks? So I'm trying to split the trunk here so that it's easier. Hopefully it becomes easier to bend the tree. Could this harm the tree? It may harm the tree, but the hope is it can heal this wound. Hopefully it would not kill it. Because this is a relatively young tree, I hope it can heal. It can heal by itself without being harmed too much. I'm just trying to see whether I can make this more flexible. So this tree, basically, it's breaking in half in the middle. And my hope is this will make the tree more flexible for bending without harming the tree. It is quite drastic of an operation, but trees are much stronger than human, and I hope it will survive.
does become more flexible after you split the trunk. I'm just continuing to split the trunk in half. Vertically. And in preparation for putting some dramatic bends into the trunk. By splitting the trunk into half, I hope to make it easier to bend. Okay, so now basically from top to bottom, the tree is being split in half, and hopefully this will make the tree much easier to bend. So next step, I'm going to wrap the trunk with some raffia, and to try to prevent the tree from further cracking when I make some big bending in the trunk. So I'm simply going to go with I simply got some raffia online. Not anything specific to bonsai, but just raffia for wrapping gifts. And let's see. Trying to wrap the tree like a gift, and so I'm going to wrap the raffia around the trunk to prevent big kinking of the trunk, and also prevent massive water loss due to the kinking. So I'm wrapping the raffia relatively tight, to the trunk. And once the raffia start to get thin, I'm going to get another raffia and try to get it ready. Going to try to tie this around. I don't really have the very good quality of applying this. I'm simply trying to wrap it around the trunk. There are very good way to make it, but people could wrap the tree so well that you will not be able to see the raffia but I simply don't have that craftsmanship right now. So I'm simply going to wrap it. Doesn't matter how good or how bad it looks. I'm simply trying to wrap around, and hopefully it will prevent dramatic breaking event from happening. So every round that's around the trunk, I try to pull on it to make it tighten. So I wrap around and then I pull so that it's tight. Sometimes when get into a branch and I cannot wrap around, but hopefully it's not going to break. Every time it's going to run out, I will just get a new one. And get the whole raffia, wrap around the new one several times, and then start wrapping with the new one. This is very bad craftsmanship, but it's the first time I try to apply raffia, so I don't care about how good it looks. The first thing I want to see is whether it worked or not. Okay, I don't think I need to wrap the whole tree. So I think I would tie it up somewhere. And call this done. There are a lot of untidy places on this. I'm simply going to cut it off. A lot of places that are not exactly tidy, but it doesn't matter too much to me at this point. Okay, so this is wrapped around like a mummy now. So next I'm going to try to put some bend into the trunk. So I'm going to put a wire into the soil and anchor it in the soil. And then wrap it around the trunk. Maybe at 60 degrees. While doing that, I'm trying to avoid getting the branches entangled. Maybe small branches will still get entangled, but trying to not get the large branch in too much. So I'm wrapping the raffia and the wire on the same direction, which is the direction I'm going to twist the trunk. And so that the way when we twist it, the trunk, it's going to hopefully self-tighten. And one wrap sometimes may not be enough. in that case, we can do a second wrap around. I'm simply wrapping the trunk all over. Hopefully, this will be hopefully this will be able to put some good movement into the trunk. Okay, it's pretty amazing that my cell phone is not damaged since it just fell off of my balcony onto the ground. It's the second floor, so luckily it didn't got damaged, but I just finished wiring the tree with pretty thick wire. Let me look at if I look at the size of the wire, it's 5 millimeter and it's 8.75 feet. I wrapped around the trunk twice, so it just got enough of wire to wrap around the trunk twice. So now I will try to get some bending into the tree, and let's take a look. I really hope there is a way that I can do this without the risk of dropping my cell phone, but hopefully, I hope this time it's tight enough. Okay, let's see. I may need to keep an eye on it so that it doesn't drop. So let's see how I can put some twist and turn into it. Although the trunk is split, it is still pretty tough trunk, so just going to have to muscle it. see if I can get some meaningful bend into the trunk, hopefully without killing the tree. Going to try and compress the tree. Let's see how much I can twist and turn the tree until I hear a breakage. I did hear a breakage here, but hopefully the raffia is going to take care of it. So once I hear breakage, I'm going to stop twisting the area that I was twisting and go to a lower part of the tree. The lower part is pretty stiff, so I may or may not be able to twist it too much, but I'm going to keep trying. Okay, so currently look like this now, but I'm not finished yet. I'm going to keep trying, keep muscling it, and see what kind of bend I can put into the trunk. Okay, after a lot of muscling the tree, this is about the best I can bend the tree. Basically, because the bottom of the tree is still very stiff, I cannot make a lot of twists and turn into the bottom, but it has some gentle movement there. Then when it get to near the top of the tree, I'm able to put in more movement. So after this, I'm going to try to prune off some of the branches that's maybe not in the best places. Try to clean up the trunk a little bit so that after it got bended, it's going to look a lot more congested, and I'm just going to take out some of the branches that are not in the best places after the bend. So again, this is about the front view of the tree, and I'm simply going to quickly prune the tree from the bottom to the top and see which branch are not in the right place. I'm just going to prune off. This branch is right in the front, and I don't need that, so I'm going to prune off quickly. This small branches is okay. It's a little bit too much to the front of the tree, so I'm going to prune this off too. Given how much this tree back bud, I can afford to make some mistakes, and the tree will still work. This branch is coming out from the right place, so I'm not going to bother. This branch is okay, and all these trees that are coming right inside the curve, I'm just going to cut. The branches are supposed to come out from the outside of the curve instead of the inside of the curve. So anything that come out from the inside, I'm going to try to prune off. This one is pretty much from the inside too, so I'm just going to get rid of until you get out of the inside of the curve. This one is still, although it's more towards the front, this one is still kind of on the inside of the curve, so I'm going to prune off. So now it is immediately much cleaner, and some of the branches are so this is underside the curve, but it's almost the outside of the curve, so it's fine. Let's see, this is the under one, which I think it's fine. This is outside of the curve. This one is going straight up. I'm not going to keep this one. Straight up one, I'm just going to get rid of. And the horizontal ones I'm going to keep. This one is fine. This one is fine. This one is coming from the inside of the curve. I'm going to get rid of. Okay. And let's see. When we get closer to the top, so I find one that's going straight up. We don't need that. So when we get closer to the top of the tree, it's getting more congested. And let's see, this one is also a inside curve one, so I'm going to get rid of this big branch. Okay. When we get closer to the top, it's going to get more congested. The rest of the tree is fine, but I just need to think about the top. We have obviously a lot of branches come out from the same place. We don't need that much. So what we can do is let's count this place, how many branches come out from the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 branches come out from the same place. And we don't exactly need that many. So I'm going to get rid of this branch that's coming towards the viewer. And hanging down, I'm going to favor this tiny branch if I need a branch there. Let's see. If I step away a little bit, we would need something that's to form a apex. And I think it's either this one or this one. Which one would give? I think this one is slightly stronger, and it may just give a better movement, I think. So I'm going to get rid of one of it. They are pretty close. The two of them are pretty close, so I'm not really worried about maybe cutting the wrong one off, because the other one can easily replace the one I cut off. So not a big deal if I cut the wrong one. Okay, I think it is fine now. So after this, I'm going to maybe do some detail wiring of each branches. And I'm going to bend the branches to the places where they belong. I'm not going to make a detail wiring, detail styling of the tree, but I'm simply going to place the branches, the major branches that I need in its places. So I'm going to do the wiring and come back in a little bit and place the branches. So this is the final look of the first styling of my Douglas fir, and I'm
pretty happy with it. So it has a literati feel to it, and the branch placement are basically fine. There are major branches that are all placed, and there are some small branches that I haven't wired, but it's not important at this point. In the future, if some branches grow up and is in need of further wiring, we can always do that later. But this is basically the form that kind of turned out, and I think it looks pretty nice artistically. However, the question is whether this makes sense in terms of horticulture. And currently, we still have several months before it gets really cold, so the Douglas fir has some time to recover. But whether the tree can take the amount of bending, the amount of trunk splitting, and the amount of foliage reduction, I still don't know. So it is a question that I'm asking this tree, and if the answer is no, then the tree may just die. But if the tree can take this amount of work at this time, we will take a look next time, maybe early next year, and see if it survives. If it survives, next year we will probably not do much work to it. Maybe do a simple repot, but other than that, not do a lot of work to it and let it recover from this amount of work. So I'm pretty happy with the result right now, and we will wait and see if this tree survive and continue to thrive. So hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.